G'day, I'm Richard and this is Trish and we're from Willespie. You're watching Bogan'S Guide to Wine. Get in here.
G'day guys, welcome to a new episode of Bogan'S Guide to Wine. I'm Sampy, I'm down in Margaret River still, and I've called into Willespie.
Yeah, Willespie.
Willespie. These are great supporters of the show. These guys have sent us down some wine before. You might have seen your daughter Trish and her fellow Richard on our Gourmet Escape little clip we did last year. They said hello. So I've called into the cellar door and you've taken us down actually into your cellar.
Yeah.
This is the private stash.
Yeah, not many people get in here.
Well,
there's only certain people we trust to come in here, Jason. This is vintage going right back to the early days, about 81. We've got wines here from 81.
So I saw on the door, you were established in 76.
76, yeah.
So that make you one of the oldest wine.
We are. We're called the Second 11. There was the Cullens and the Mosswoods and Mantell.
Yep.
And then we came along, we were called the Second 11. And there's Redgate, us, Ashbrook, there's quite a few, but we were the Second 11.
Right.
And now it's
all over the place.
Mate, there's lots of 11s.
So when you say Second 11, so like there was only, say, 20 or so wineries?
Oh yeah, in those days. In fact, we used to meet in the CWA hall in Kawarama.
Right.
And it was like a big family gathering. We'd all bring a cake and bloody flask of tea or coffee or whatever, sit down and have our meeting.
There you go.
Now you couldn't fit them all in the Margaret River hall. No, it's all changed. Yeah. And we've lost a little bit of the feel of Margaret River, which is a little bit upsetting in some ways.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, I think we started off trying to keep this very authentic Margaret River, and it was a wine region, but it's become so spread out now. There's breweries, there's you name it.
Yep.
Chocolate.
It's chocolate.
And well, to be quite honest, yeah. The Margaret River name, I mean, it's a great marketing tool, but unless we're careful, we could lose its magic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, by diluting it away from the wine industry, which is happening.
So possibly make it more of a tourist industry
well,
rather than the wine industry.
In the early days, Di Cullen said that's one thing we had to guard against, was turning this into just a pure tourist region, because it makes such great, I mean, this is a world-renowned wine growing region. There's no doubt, grapes from here, we can grow just about any grape here and make really world-class wines. So
anybody that's been following our Facebook page, I've been putting up photos. I just did one with you guys upstairs, and we've been going through quite a few wineries since being down here, and I've always been a fan of Margaret River, of course, but have not had a dud wine since we've been here.
No.
Not one. We've had lots of different varieties, but there has not been one that's been unpalatable at all.
I mean, and we're a little bit disadvantaged because we're a little remote from the main markets in Australia, and our cost structures are very, very high. I mean, to get glass like bottles, it has to come from eastern states. To get anything, it all has to come across the Nullarbor, then we ship it back across the Nullarbor. And I mean,
a few bucks to each one that
it does.
Knock out.
Yeah,
so.
well, we are a high cost area. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
All right, well, we better jump into this wine because we're yammering on a bit. So we've decided we should try a Verdelho.
Yep, Verdelho was the first grape bought by the first settlers in WA from Cape of Good Hope. It's actually a Portuguese grape, and in Portugal and Madeira, it's actually used as a fortified wine at Madeira. And when we crack it, go for you. And when we took it to the World Wine Show in London, the Portuguese were absolutely flabbergasted that we made this into a dry style, and they couldn't get over the intensity of it. Because our vineyard's totally dry grown. There's no irrigation on here, so all the fruit is intense. So
it's got a lovely colour. It's like a
beautiful,
almost a lime straw sort of thing going on there. That
dark
really
straw
nice
colour. Yeah. So, and it's complex on the nose. It's got all sorts of tropical fruits and.
It's stony as well.
Very stony, sherbety too.
Sherbet?
Yeah, sherbets. There's sherbets in there.
Yeah, I can actually find that. That's
As long as there's no frogs in there. I don't think there's any frogs in there, no. But I always say to people, they say to me, what's in that? And I say, well, what do you think it is? And I reckon that's the thing to do. Let people make their own mind up.
Yeah.
But you'll find the palate of this is very, very full, very satisfying, very good food wine, and very, very good with seafood, particularly crayfish. If you can afford the crayfish, you can
we're from Jordan. All the crayfish comes from Jordan.
Yeah,
it all goes to Japan. We can't afford to do it ourselves.
I had dinner the other night with crayfish from Jordan. He just stopped fishing because he was making too much money.
Oh, dude, what a drama.
He was getting $90 a kilo or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy.
So he stopped, Yeah, so there we are, Vidello, wonderful.
Oh, let's have a taste.
Yeah. Satisfying.
Yeah, that's
one of the most, if not the most underrated white grape in the industry.
That's
wine writers do not comprehend Vidello, and they don't want to. They appear very negative towards Vidello because in the early days it was made into a sweet style, and they sort of said, Vidello. So that's absolutely rubbish.
It sort of suffers the same reaction. Now Riesling's got another bit of upsurge.
Yeah.
70, no one want to touch Riesling.
Well, Riesling, once again, a great grape. I mean, it is really.
It's really coming into its own. Like I say, taking a different spin on it. Like I said, this was originally meant to be a sweet one where it comes from.
Yeah, and we turned it into a dry style, and we sell a lot of this in Darling Harbour and into better restaurants in Sydney. So it's a good restaurant wine that goes well with just about any food, but particularly seafood.
I could happily quaff away on this on a nice summer's day too.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Sit on the veranda and drink
this. Plenty of sun-burned cream and sit out under the tree.
Because it's full of flavour, isn't it?
It's rich.
It's big and it's got a nice full mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's sort of
good balance. It's a really good balanced wine. And the thing is, I think people are starting to appreciate some age on white wine. Now, people used to say, can you age white wine? Well, it ages just as well as red if it's well treated, particularly if it's stored in this sort of storage. Yeah, so there's no doubt you can age them, and the better they, the longer they age, the better they get. They get that complexity, that honeyed character.
I'm just picking up a bit, quite herbaceous as well on top of everything.
Very,
just like layered. It's very complex.
Yeah. And you always read the back of the bottle, and that's stungy. I think
we try not to actually. Try not to. Afterwards, you're like, that one right.
I always think,
I'm not giving away any tricks on there anyway.
A bit of poetic license there. You read such. Some of it is just amazing.
Yeah. So how much would people be? How much are you sticking for a bottle of this?
I think it's $19.
Yeah, that's
it's good value. It's good value. It's a low yielding, dry grown, very intense, and we do leave this on skins normally overnight when we crush it, and then the next day we press it.
So does that give it that nice
gives
colour?
It that richness, that little bit of colour, and that bit of length on the palate, which is
and
you can see the legs on here, mate.
Yeah.
Better than my legs.
So what alcohol level are we looking at? I'll take a punt before you tell me.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's a white, but like I say, does it pretty thick? 12 and a half, maybe 13?
Oh, I'd try 13 and a half.
Oh, there you go. So no mucking around.
Good value.
you get
but the alcohol doesn't stand out. I mean, it's not a hot wine.
No,
the alcohol is well integrated into the fruit. It's
refreshing.
I love
going on.
It's still my favourite white, even though we make Chardonnay and Riesling and Semillon and Semillon Sauvignon.
Well, thank you very much for sharing this, Vidello.
Good on you.
Till next time.
Here's to the Bogan'S.
Yes, cheers. And if you're in Margaret River, call into the cellar door down here. It's a lovely place, and come meet the guys because you're handing down to the kids directly. So your pretty face won't be behind the door much longer.
Well, my pretty face doesn't spend much time there. My pretty face is more out in the vineyard or in the winery.
So you might be trading in for Trish.
Well, she's a bit prettier than me. Yeah, I've got 3 beautiful looking daughters.
All right, we better wrap this one up. Thanks again.
Good on you.
Till next time. This has been Bogan'S Guide to Wine. Oops.
Get it in ya.